Muslim Women by Jarlis Ariana Villagrana. My stimulus. Thompson, Simone Biles, and the most human meaning of courage. Simone Biles is a courageous gymnast. Through a very tough times in her life, she perseveres through all of these things. Eloise Kobo, a small measure of justice. Eloise Kobo is a tribal elder who sued the U.S. government in the case Kobo v. Salazar for the Indian trust funds. Some important terminology is Muslims. Muslims are the people who follow the religion of Islam, which means the submission to the will of God. They believe in Allah. Hijab. Hijab is a headscarf that is worn by Muslim women. And protest is whenever you feel against a certain thing, you complain and object, and you go against this certain thing. Muslim women don't have freedom in Iran. The situation. Women in Iran have gone against the Islamic dress code since it became mandatory in 1981. According to the Article 638 of the code, women who are seen in public places or on the roads without wearing an Islamic hijab may face penalties ranging from 10 days to 2 months of imprisonment or a fine, ranging from 5,000 to 50,000 tomans, which is the currency in Iran. This law has only become more pressing and more consequential as the women in Iran still have no power over their autonomy to choose whether they want to wear it or not. Let's talk about Masha Amini. Masha Amini was one of the women to go against this law. She was 22 years old and a young girl who went out in the Tehran, and by wearing her hijab improperly, that small thing costed her life. She was beaten mercilessly in the head by the morality police. The death of Masha Amini caused a wave of outrage among the women in the nation, across the nation. The protests. Here are some pictures of during protests to see or show what is going on. The women are cutting their hair, the men are cutting their hair to go against this law. There's violence going on. There's people holding pictures of Masha Amini, and then there's people holding up posters like Women, Life, Freedom. Let's just look at this graph. The number of protests in 2022. When Masha Amini died due to the morality police officers, rages in growth in protests have happened because of the death. They have protested all because of this law, and it all happened and started whenever she died. The protests. As the protests intensified of women cutting their hair and burning their hijabs spread, acts which served as both an expression of anger directed towards the morality police who are responsible for Masha Amini's death. 570 people in this protest, 537 people died in this protest. 71 of them were children, and 19,400 people were arrested for participating in this movement against the government. More than 500 protesters have suffered serious eye injuries, and after security forces served bird shot, rubber pellets, and metal pellets at their heads. Amira Garavand. Amira Garavand was an Iranian teenager, 16 years old, who is dead now to the Iranian police. Amira Garavand was walking in the subway, going into a cabin with her friend, when she came across government agents who proceeded to beat her in the head because she didn't have a headscarf on and was violating the hijab law. As you can see, this is Amira Garavand in the hospital after this incident happened, and this is when the situation was happening, and this is what security pictures got. No voice. A few days after the anniversary of Masha Amini's death, the Iranian parliament passed a bill that intensified penalties for individuals who refuse to wear the mandatory hijab in public, but also to those who provide them with support. The incident of Amira Garavand, the government refuses to listen and change the law even with the dedicated protesters getting injured and dying. The incident of Amira Garavand happened almost 1 year after the Masha Amini's death, which provides to show that the government is not listening after 1 year of protesting, because the same incident happened a year later. Let's talk about some solutions. The government in Iran should adjust the law. I believe that if the government in Iran, just tweaks it or just changes it just a little bit, since they really want to keep the law, maybe it'll satisfy some. Completely get rid of the law. If the law is causing so much death, and it's causing the people to go against their own government, and it's causing a lot of anger, maybe just getting rid of the law completely would help ease things a bit. Listen to what the people are saying so they can come to an agreement that will satisfy most people. It's really hard to satisfy everyone, so I feel like satisfying most would be okay. And I feel like the government and the people need to calm down a little and have conversations and movements and stuff that will help get through and people so they can calm down and satisfy some people. My conclusion: the women in Iran need more freedom. They should be allowed to choose whether they want to wear hijab or not. The government in Iran should have listened to the people and protesters and listened to what they're asking for and come up with a solution. They need to, come up with something nice. This is my work cited. Thank you very much.